Maybe if I just switch it on. Okay, I check that settings. Audio. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, working. Wow, so silly of me. I left my headset switched off. So, again, you just saw that big lump of wood. I was planning to make a ball from a burl because everybody does that, and presumably they look very nice. But it was so full of faults, cracks, and what have you that didn't get to that. So after about a year in the shop, I I threw it out. Believe it or not, it has been outside for another year, I think, under a table, so protected from the worst of the rain, but still outside. And then I saw a few people doing stuff with inlays, and I have been doing inlays myself as well. And then I went back to the wood pile and dug it up, and now I'm happily cutting it into pieces for all kinds of stuff. And this lid is one of them. Mason jar lids seem to be great sellers at craft shows and the like. So I'm going to give that a try shortly. I have a market arranged in June in our village, and that's where all this stuff will be on sale. We'll see. So some chestnut friction polish. Because it gives you a really good finish with not too much effort. And I think I heard Mike P say it once, shiny cells. But it's really hard to make wood stuff shiny. Although with this friction polish I've been reasonably successful, I must say. Whoa. Don't touch it anymore. And then what there is left to do is construction adhesive. That's what I use to put stuff together. This is the lid. It's a container for mayonnaise. Putting a fair amount of glue in there. This has already been made to fit yesterday. And there you have it. It's another piece done for my big sale. Here's the jar. Well, I'm curious to see how good these will go. I think I'm going to make another one while I'm at it. I also have smaller jars, like this one, for example. So let's try and make a lid for that one as well. For that, I will be using, let me see. If this is big enough. Barely. See if I can find a bigger piece. Oops. I think I have something. That's better. Yeah, that will go. So, taking that to the bandsaw. So, plenty big enough. Should be about here. I think I'll put that between centers to start with. How long have I been wood turning? Meanwhile, I think about 4 years. 3. Okay. About 4 years, Jennifer. And this is my third lathe after uh, two lathes which were built by people themselves, so not brand types. I took the leap and got myself this record power lathe, and I've never regretted it. Mhm. Okay. I want to work on this side first, so I'll put it in the tail center with that side as flat as I can get it. Maybe I can already make a tenon on the other side like this. We'll see. Jacked up leatherworks. That's Jacob. What's that? Ah, oh my God. Steve, yeah, hi. Well, I have this headset and I will show it to you. You see that handle there? That's the microphone. If you accidentally mute, I hadn't noticed. That's why I need an earworm to tell me as soon as it goes wrong. Okay, so I don't know when that happened, but I have created a tenon for this piece, which is going to be a mason jar lid. So I'll move my tailstock out of the way. Because I really respect that pointy little bit at the end. You have to beware of that. And I have a lid here with a diameter of, it's not even that small, 70 millimeters. So I don't even have that much room to play, but it will be enough because I have found that these lids will not look good if you make the rim too large. Switch camera again. Okay. The elbow killer. Not sure what you mean by that, but yeah, this is something you have to beware, to be careful with. So the circle which I drew on there, oh, you cannot see that. Wait, I'll grab a pencil. That's where the lid will sit. And I have finally found an application where my smaller ball gouge is actually useful. It's probably not yet deep enough. I need a centimeter at least. No, as I thought, not there yet. These holes always look pretty deep until you go measure them. So I think that should do it. A homemade box scraper with thanks to Richard Raffen for the inspiration. Wow. Well, this one is at least big enough. It's even a bit sloppy, I must say. But the glue will take care of that. So I suppose it's still okay. Thus far, I've only made them where they really have a tight fit. But this one is a bit loose. Okay. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, I figured that still not everything is gone. You would like to be happy earworm for me? Ah, okay. We're going to sort that. Gmail. So that's my email address. If you reply to that, I will straight away send you the invite. The tailstock point, yeah. Are you still there, Jennifer? Because I'm waiting for that email from you, so that you don't have to type in yours in the chat. We'll see. I just continue. Okay, I'll continue for a bit. Trying to get rid of that tiny imperfection here. Although I think I'm going to get fairly thin if I want to get that out completely. Maybe I can leave it in. We'll see. I also see that I have to clean up that rim a bit. Feels better now. Okay. This is spalted maple from my own garden. And the spalting was more or less accidental because I left it outdoors for too long. Happens more often since I do not have that much space to store things. Okay, that looks good. Going to resort to my smaller gouge because this is really sensitive stuff. Also having to cut fairly close to the jaws, if I may say so. So I'll leave that tenon on here for a bit. Ah, I have an email. Okay. I could have guessed that one, Jennifer. Invite. On its way. You should have that, Jennifer. Give it a slap. Yeah. No, I find it a bit demanding to both turn and watch the comments at the same time. So I'm very happy that Jennifer has offered to help me out for this session. Ah, there's Jennifer. Add to stream. Hello there. That's Mr. Jennifer, if I'm not mistaken.
Not me.
Yes. Yes. Hi, Jennifer.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. And can you still see the chat now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Then if you're okay, I will move you to the background. I think that how does that work with StreamYard? Let me see. Maybe this one. Solo layout. No. Oh yes. Yeah, that's it. And you're still there. I can see the picture moving. Right. Okay. Well then, I'll get cracking. Let me stop the late, see how far I am.
Right, welcome everybody to Leo's channel. I will go through the chat. We have got Jacked Up Leatherworks, and we've got Steve Akin. Welcome, guys. Thanks for coming over to Leo's channel.
Let me put that one aside.
David, who's David?
Okay. I think I'll leave this tiny bit here as a beauty spot. Okay. Because it's probably I'll get a bit thin if I try to turn that away. And I don't mind having small pieces of bark like this, natural features, so to say, on the pieces. Will make it beautiful anyway. So what I'm going to do for this one is I just showed you that burl. I'm going to do an inlay with that. And this wood turns really nice. It's a joy to work with.
Steve,
not high.
If you like what Leo's doing, guys, if you wouldn't mind hitting the thumbs up, be nice.
If there are questions, I suppose I hear that from my earworm now. That's one of the cool things. I'm not sure how I'm going to shape this.
Leo,
Yes.
if ever you need to,
Can you repeat that, please?
anybody's got any questions, if they'd like to bother me in the chat. Any better, Jacob?
Okay. A burn line always looks good on these. So there we have it. And now let's see for the inlay. Already prepared a few pieces.
Thank you, Steve.
That will go in. So this is one of the pieces of birch which I prepared already. As you can see, it still has the foot on it. But what I have been doing with the last one that I just showed you is that, well, I'll show it. Probably better me showing it than explaining it or trying to explain it. I will make an opening or a recess where the foot fits in, and then I will make the edge domed so that the edge here of the piece fits neatly onto this. So I take my calipers. I set them, I think, to 35 millimeters. It was a tad more. Like so. I appreciate it a lot, Jennifer, that you are helping me out on this. So nice. We have been
problem,
chatting.
Leo.
We have been in touch on YouTube before, haven't we? We have been in touch.
Yes. Jacob's put, if you like what you're watching, don't be afraid to hit the like button and subscribe. I agree, Jacob.
The like button is a good one, yes. Please do not forget. It doesn't cost you anything. I have plenty of thickness here, so I'm not going to be bothered by measuring that all too much. There's a slight bump in the middle here. So it's okay if I go a little bit deeper than what the foot on the inlay is. But I need to make it a bit wider as well. It works really well with the box scrapers. I could tap it in now, but we'll just give it a millimeter or so more. Although I think you were brought up with the imperial system, isn't it, Jennifer?
Sorry?
Imperial? Not you do not know how much a millimeter is?
Oh, I don't understand that at all. I do resin.
Uh-huh.
Mark
let
does
me think.
woodwork. I do the resin.
Uh-huh. But the question was a millimeter in imperial. It's about 40 thousandths of an inch. I happen to know that from my my previous
Steve
career
Asher
in.
says he's at the age where he was taught both. Does that mean you're extremely old then, Steve? Lol.
It depends on where he had his
I think I
education,
met
I think.
Steve. Yeah.
Yeah. Need
Oh,
to
I'm
be a
older
bit
than you,
deeper in the
Steve.
center.
I'm 55. Sure, I met Steve Asher. Harrogate last year. When I was watching.
Just trying to make this fit properly. Still a bit too narrow at the bottom.
Yeah, I thought we did, Steve. Yeah, Steve Ash says that we met at Emma's and he was sat behind me. I was watching Emma do a demo. Yes, Emma did introduce us, yes. I remember now.
It's a small world, right?
Emma's becoming a good friend of mine.
Making a bit more of a concave entry into that hole because the inlay does not yet fit completely seamless into the opening. Needs a bit more still.
It's looking cool.
So that should do it. Okay. I think that's better. I'll give you briefly show you the overhead. Settings. You see, and now there's virtually no seam where the inlay sits. Where the inlay sits. Does have a tiny bit of play, but I think the glue will take care of that eventually. So I'll grab a piece of 150 sandpaper. Do some polishing up here.
It's a good lesson.
Yeah, guys, in case you don't know, Jennifer does really cool things with resin.
I haven't done any resin at the moment, but I've just got some new molds and that, so I'm going to be putting some videos up in the next couple of weeks again.
Okay. I'm subscribed, so I will see them.
Which scared me.
I'm only doing lives right now because I cannot spare the time anymore to edit the videos. The recording is one thing, but you spend the equal amount of time editing them, and that's really too much.
Picking up Leo. I've just been doing some paw prints in the colours of the pride for my son, and some pendants and that for him, because I've got Pride in Birmingham at end of the month.
Birmingham, that's close to where you live.
So, about 2.5 hours.
Oh, well, it's not that close then.
I live in Doncaster.
Okay. I must be honest, I couldn't tell you where that is on the map. I really couldn't.
No, I couldn't either.
That's
I just use
going
my
a bit
Google
too
Maps.
fast. 240 sandpaper. I think I'll change the view again, right? Because it's not so much to see from that side. So one of the features that StreamYard is lacking, which I can use with OBS, is that you can zoom in the camera via its digital zoom. You have an option for camera control, and then you can also set the zoom level, and then I can put it at 140%, and then everything gets quite a bit closer than it is now. Okay. You know what? Since this is going to be a good one, I'm going to briefly take it off the lathe. You can do that with this kind of work without being afraid that it will not center again. And then I will try it on the jar to see how it looks, because I think I might have to take a tiny bit more off that rim.
Yeah, Chesterfield's not that far from us, Steve.
Where is the jar? Ah, there it is. So this is how it would look completed. What do you think? Should I take a bit more off? Don't need to take more off of the rim?
Oh, I like it like that. It's really nice.
Okay. Then
I think it's nice like
when you
that.
say so, Jennifer. It's
what do you guys
especially the
think in the
female.
chat?
Now is the time to do it. If I have glued the lid in, then it's too late. Now to do it. I'll just continue sanding for a bit. Then I can always bring out the gouge and do this.
Steve Ash says it's a bit of a mushroom effect.
Yeah, it is. It is. So actually, he thinks a bit more off. A little bit. I will take a little bit more off.
Yeah,
I've made
just a tad.
a few more of these already, and I find that if you make that rim part too wide, then they look.
Steve Ash said
yeah.
no, not to take any more off.
Not. Okay.
He says it looks fine as it is.
Okay. I will do what you say, guys. This one was on the edge, if you ask me. But I have picked up a saying from somebody else on YouTube, and that he says that perfect must not become the enemy of good. I think that's a very wise saying. So here we go with 400 grit.
Very wise saying, yes.
I saw this type of project, I should say. I saw this project for the first time with a guy called Ron Brown from the US here. Just freshen up that line. And he was telling that he had such good success with selling these. His looked a bit different. He made them with knobs, and they were for mason jars, which you can buy. What I use here is basically glass jars, which you throw away, so the recyclable ones. But yeah, essentially the principle is the same, of course. I think that's good enough. This stuff sands pretty easy as well.
Yeah.
So here we go with the sanding sealer. Let me get a fresh piece of.
What sanding sealer do you use, Leo?
I'm using the Rustins. This one. That's the shellac based. I also have the cellulose based, but I only use that on pieces where I want to retain the original color, because I have found that this one, the shellac based, tends to make the color of the wood a little bit darker. But I find that I go through much more of this.
Is better.
Yes, it is. That's essentially what this is, upcycling.
I agree, Steve.
I cannot really get to that rim. Okay, I'll put it on slightly different, because at this stage it's not really that important that it is centered. I must be able to get to every piece of it with my finish. But I use this Rustins sanding sealer, cellulose based, and then I thin it a bit more with some extra alcohol, because as it is, I find it's a bit too thick. That's on there only barely.
Downside, vegetarians and vegans know. Steve, yeah. It's an animal product, so here, if you don't tell them, you can be sued. Yes.
What is an animal product? Not sanding sealer, huh? Shellac, I believe, is
that's it.
Made from a sort of resin which is produced by insects. No animal gets killed for that. So this is what goes on next. Probably you all know that. It's my first bottle, and I like it a lot.
Just friction polish.
Yeah, friction polish. Yeah, it's one of the best ways to get a shiny finish on virtually everything. Okay, close that container.
Steve Ash says same with honey, but vegans get touchy with that too. I've never really tried honey. And beeswax, right?
Yeah. I also use
a lot
beeswax.
Of information from Steve Ash today.
He might be a learner turner, but he knows a lot of stuff, right? Yeah.
He does. He says, I have no idea why the logic escapes me.
So I'll simply glue this in. Yeah, that looks kind of nice. That looks good.
What glue's that, Leo?
That's basic wood glue from the from the retail store in the village next to our Action. It's a really good place for cheap DIY. I get my alcohol there for the, how do you call it, methylated spirit for cleaning and for the sanding sealer, that sort of thing. I buy my paint there, wood glue, sandpaper. Well, if you shout Action here in the shop and everything would walk out. then I wouldn't have anything to work with anymore. But never mind, that's simply what it is. Okay, that's one project completed. But I'm in need of many more of these.
Rex B's just joined the chat. Good afternoon, Rex.
Welcome, Rex. So we'll just do a bit more of the same. I have another jar here, slightly bigger, I believe. Let me measure that. The other one was 70 mil. This one is, well, the lid is not even that much larger. It's also 70-ish. But I'll make the lid for that one out of a piece of ash. So I'll give you an overview of the shop. And the dog, Yara, yeah, she's helping me out here.
It's not a problem. Lisa, brilliant for Leo. Oh.
It's a border collie.
Dog enjoying the shavings.
Yeah, taking them indoors, and the boss lady is not enjoying that.
But you... Rex has said, great looking dog.
Oh yeah, she's getting old.
Going now.
Yeah, taking some of the shavings in. She's almost 14 by now. So I'm enjoying every day that she's around still. Because you know how that goes with dogs, right?
I don't have any animals.
We have cats
Steve
and dogs
Ashes just said, my cat has a habit. Try it on stock while I'm turning.
My wife does knitting, and we have another dog. He might show up as well, and he loves knitting too, or the wool, better said. Okay, this might get a bit noisy because I'm going to use the table saw. And that gives me a piece of ash, 10 by 10.
Ash.
Ash, yes. Ash from the village here. 2 years ago, they renovated our street, and for that, quite a few trees were taken out, and I managed to get 2 complete trunks of ash. I still have a lot of it lying outside uncut, but this is part of what I did cut up already. You see,
wow,
these are the biggest jaws I have, and a 10 by 10 piece just fits in, so that I can make a tenon on one side and do the first few things on it, and then I can turn it around and finish it using a different chuck. It speeds things up if you can put it in a chuck directly.
Steve Ash says, looks like a well-organized tool table, Leo. And then he said camera.
He's right. This is what it's all about. And if I'm working like this, if I'm working like this for an extended period of time, then it tends to pile up. Every now and then I put my tools back in the tool rack, which is above the lathe. But while I'm turning, I lay them here on the table saw.
If anybody's got any questions for Leo, just bob him in the chat.
They're all watching in amazement, Jenny. It seems, at least.
Do you have a favourite wood to turn?
Do I have what? Was that the question, Jennifer? Was that the question, Jennifer?
It was my question. Sorry.
Ah.
Do you have a favourite wood to turn?
Yeah, I do. I do. That's when you are turning for some time, or when you have been turning for some time, then you start getting into your wood more and more. But of course, initially when you start out, everything's wet. Meanwhile, I also have some.
I've done a little bit of wood
dry
turning,
lumber.
but I love olive wood.
Olive wood, but that doesn't grow around here, does it? If I would have to buy all my wood,
Keep breaking up a little bit, Leo.
Sorry, what? What did you say, Jennifer?
Keep breaking up a little bit.
Oh. I think that's maybe the noise cancellation.
Keep breaking up.
Still?
Right.
Right? I say it might be the noise cancellation of the camera while I'm turning.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I have a question for the people in this. What's your favourite woods to turn? Yeah, that's true, Steve. Olive is very nice but expensive.
I started off with walnut. I still like it a lot. I started off with walnut.
Oh, yes. I like walnut.
And I have a walnut tree, or actually a few walnut trees here in the garden. And I took one down a few years ago. I still have wood from that one.
You've got wood from it?
Yeah. You have a whole tree that
after it's turned.
That can last for quite a while. A whole tree. Even if you put some of it in the stove, which we also use it for, of course.
Yeah.
Looks good. I'll try to start a bit smaller than the last one.
Steve, is that Paduke the orange colour? Steve Ash.
It's like what I said.
I thought it was, but I wasn't quite sure.
Paduke is red, reddish. If I would have to buy all the wood that I'm turning, then I probably couldn't afford this hobby.
No.
I'm always on the lookout for free wood, and I think it's better to use stuff that you have locally. There's really no point in dragging wood halfway around the planet. It cannot be good.
Yeah, we started during lockdown of 2020.
Okay.
Well, should I say
How are we with that?
Started, and then I wanted to have a go.
This one is a lot higher than the last one. It's one and
a lot higher than the last one.
Almost 1.5. And my hole is only 10 millimeters deep. And it does not yet go in, as you can see. So I have to widen it up a bit and make it deeper. I know that this piece of wood is 30 millimeters
The
thick.
gentleman would turn.
Mark. So nice to see you back again.
Welcome back, Mark.
Mark was there for the morning session as well.
Steve Ash says he knows where there's a lot Steve Ash says he knows where there's trees about 2 clear, and he rock across the lawnmower landowner will not let anyone go get it. Good afternoon, Haywood. 50 years. How did you get on me, Mark? Is that any better, Steve? Is that a good thing or a bad thing, Mark? Thanks, Steve.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mark.
Time for another test fit. Oops.
Sorry, Leo.
I say time for another test fit. Still too narrow,
Yes.
but that's good. We can always make it wider. That's starting to look like it. So I've made the small tapered section near the top of the hole, and it seems as if it just goes in. So I can take the whole wall to that dimension. Oops. That should be pretty close.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Yo. Fits. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's I've done quite a few already by this time, so maybe I'm getting the hang of it. I don't know. And then we can
Sure you are.
take off the chuck and switch to the 50mm jaws again. If I'm opening those up to maximum, then it fits. Chuck till chuck key. Not this one. So I'm looking over my organized work table, and there it is.
Steve Ash has got a question for you, Leo.
Oh.
He says, what's your chuck of choice?
When I bought my lathe, then the guy in the shop, he said, with the record power chucks, they will not hold the wood onto this lathe because it has a 2 horsepower motor. So he sold me this one-way chuck with it, the one you just saw, and I immediately bought the large jaws, which is virtually what I am using it with all the time. So the standard jaws that came with that one have gone off and never back on. And then I bought myself a first SE3 with 50mm jaws. That's this one. Then I bought a set of 35mm jaws. And then a short while later, I bought a chuck for that. And then I bought the pen jaws. And my most recent acquisition is the 75mm jaws, although I do not know why they call it that, because there's nothing on there which fits 75mm. So there you can see my chuck collection. This is the pen jaws, 35. This is where the 50 should go. Then here the 75 with the gripper jaws, the one way, and my Chinese chuck. The big advantage of this is that I do not ever have to switch jaws. I just grab another chuck. I think when it comes to the number of chucks, this is about where I will have to be, because they are not cheap, but they are all SE3s. Except for that one way and my Chinese chuck. The Chinese chuck was what I bought on my first lathes. And I'm happy that I didn't sell it along with the lathe. And then, yeah, so SE3 is what I use most. Could also be an SE4 perhaps, but that's very little different. The SE3 is a bit more cost effective. It comes with the threads that I need for the lathe M33. So it's fine for me. And if you want to grip smaller stuff,
That's all that
then
matters.
SE3 is perfect for that. So let's make this round. So let's make. Tool rest is a bit high still. Okay. Okay. I have come up with a design that I like, and it's like this. First, I put a line on the rim to where I know that the whole of the inside goes. Because if I take off too much wood, then I'm left with a ring. That's not what I'm after here.
Marcus just says it's got 5 chucks, but he thinks 8 would be the right number to actually have.
He may very well be right. He may very well be right.
He's got a Sorby Patriot. Steve Ash has got a Sorby Patriot as his first chuck. Now he's going to Supernova, as they are cheaper and all the jaws are interchangeable.
Yeah, the jaws may be interchangeable, but you also have to spend time each time when you want to switch them. So that's why I have so many chucks. Last time I showed this, one guy was in, I think it was Aardvarks, and he said, "So you're organizing your chuck jaws by using chucks." But actually, that
Max
is
just
what
says
I have
it's
done.
all about speed. I don't need to change jaw. Just screw on the screw.
Yeah. Just screw a different chuck on. Yeah, that's what I do basically. And I do not have chucks for my cold jaws. I have two sets of cold jaws, which I use infrequently, I must say. And for those, I have to take the jaws off one of my other chucks. Probably the 35 millimeter, because that only fits with one screw per jaw. The others all have two. Can you guys see this, or would it be better if I switch to overhead? I think it might be.
Yeah, overhead.
Okay. Okay. Okay, let's see what we have. I have to take off more. Ah, now I know why that is. This one is. I was misled by this, because this is the outside of the chuck. The hole is a lot further in, so I have to take a lot more wood off. Ah, okay. You see, this is still 10 centimeters. So I'm going to change chucks again then, guys, because the Chinese one, it has longer jaws. So then I will be able to come around the corner a bit easier. You will see. I tend not to use this one so much because it doesn't have as good a grip as the others, but it does have a very wide range of diameters which I can hold, and also it has these. You can see these are definitely longer than what you have on the 50 mil. You see, and sometimes that's handy. Like for example now.
I'll be back in 1 minute. I just need to go answer the.
You do that, Jennifer. Such a shame of my profile. I had it all in place and now I have to do it again. I still have to be careful not to run into my chuck. Think I need to take off more, yeah. I have almost a centimeter left still, so another 5 millimeter need to go. I have also.
Right. See what I've missed.
More. You cannot really see that, but I'm trying to guesstimate the thickness of the rim section. Oh, this is getting somewhere. What I can do is, of course, I can put the tenon on this side quickly and turn it around. Then you can see it, and I also have more space to work. That's how I did the last one. And this wood will probably have to come off anyway. Well, I think it will be enough. That's about as low as I can go. So this is really a flimsy tenon, but I think it since I don't have to do heavy cuts, it should be fine. You see, I still need to take off a bit more. And when I do it like this, I can use the SC3 again. Can you guys see how much gripping surface I have there? Not really. I think maybe like that. It's 2 millimeters probably, but I think it will be enough.
Steve Ash says gently does it.
Gently does it, absolutely. This way I have no fuzzies around the bottom. This way I have no fuzzies. Okay. I think while I'm at it, I can just as well sand this piece because this part of the piece, I mean, because now I can get to it quite good.
Everybody's quiet in the chat.
That's not a problem as long as they keep watching. How many viewers are there, Jennifer?
That's it. Pardon?
4, says StreamYard. Okay. Hey. Chucky. Chucky. Put it back in the drawer. Put it back in.
Steve Ashes just says it's the time of the day a lot will be at work.
Yeah. I learned this morning that in the UK, Ascension Day is not a public holiday, just like it is here in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
That makes a big difference, of course.
It does.
Okay, so now we are where we were before. I'll put that 50mm marker on, just to be sure. And then I'm going to make, well, you will see. The good thing now, of course, is that the bottom part is already finished. I only have to merge this together, just like you saw me do before. Round this over a bit. Wow. You see how shiny that looks? Not sure if the camera is able to pick that up.
Yes, it is.
To me, it looks like a no sand finish.
Wow.
So here I'm going to put in this piece. Oh, there it is. I suppose it's also something of 50mm. 49 at the base. Yeah, just under 50. Wouldn't you like to have a mason jar, a mason jar like that in your kitchen, Jennifer? It's about where that line is, so I can
Yeah.
go in with my box scraper. I think this is still too small, right? Yeah, it is, but not much. Maybe that's not really the proper tool for that. Let's try this one. Okay. Time for a test fit. Yeah. I'll have to take away all of that ridge. So I put the tool rest a bit closer to center, and then the scraper can do its job. This is a homemade tool, by the way. I think, meanwhile, about half of the tools that I use is homemade, and the ones that I use most often are all homemade, except for the ball gouges, that is. That's starting to go in, but as you can see, it is tapered, so near the opening, the hole still needs to be wider. Let's see how that looks. Yeah. Yeah. So now I'm staying away from the other view. 1 second. Camera does not really pick that up, but I'm staying away from the edge because at the opening I'm already wide enough. So it's just a matter of getting that taper in. And I see that I just went through the bottom, but that's not a problem because there's going to be a lid. As long as that piece here sits in flat, all is good. It just needs a bit wider.
That looks like a funnel now.
Yeah, but that means it's going to sit against the lid, so the inlay is just a bit thick.
Yeah.
So for the finished project, it doesn't make a difference. You see, because this will be like this. I think I have it now. And when you look at it from the other side,
That looks like a perfect fit.
it is. You see, when you look at this side, and yeah, it just transitions the bottom from one to the other. I must say that I haven't done this before. It's just that this inlay is a bit thicker than what I used before, so I had to go deeper to make it fit properly. But since the finished project is going to be like this, yeah, so no big deal. It's exactly deep enough. I will quickly sand this edge up with 80 grit sandpaper. Because, as I said, I have already made a few of these, and if they are too thick, then they also start to look clunky, not elegant. But I'm not sure if you can see that, but the hole is tapered, so you can push this in, but it doesn't fall through. And now it's also quite good on the inside. See? Yeah.
That looks good. It's really nice.
It gives a nice contrast when you have two different colors of wood, and then also with the structure that you get with burls. I'm not unhappy either. So I'll quickly take my glue, and I'll glue this in first thing, because then after the glue has set, I can sand the whole thing and finish it properly.
Papa 1947 has just come in and said, "Good morning, Leo."
Gary.
Good morning, Papa.
Good afternoon, Gary. That's Gary.
And welcome to Leo's channel. Hello, Gary.
Gary is a subscriber, and it's also one of the nicest and ablest wood turners on YouTube. So if you have not seen his channel, then go there. It's worthwhile. He's light years ahead of me, especially when it comes to segmenting. Then you should. He makes the most beautiful segmented pieces. And apart from that, he's quite a good wood turner in general. Okay. So that you can also see this. Yeah, it sits nice and even. So I will not yet glue in the lid, because then it's more difficult to mount it in the chuck again to polish it up and everything. So it will have to go put aside like this.
Thank you, Leo.
You're welcome, Jennifer. What do you think? You're having a little snack. Bailey Woodworks. Ew.
I am. I'm just having my lunch.
That's a late lunch then, because
Bailey's
it's now,
been in for quite a while.
by my calculations, it's 3:30. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It's 2:30 at your end, right? 14:27.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the question is, what shall I do next? Do you still have time, Jennifer, or do you think we should call it quits?
And yeah, I've got time. Yeah, not a problem.
Ah, cool. Then.
And it's 9:30 a.m. where Chris is in Ohio.
So the day is only starting over there. It's a beautiful day out here in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
But we were up for some sunshine. It has been
it's not too bad here in
cold
Doncaster.
and a rainy spring. Yeah. Cold and a rainy spring. Yeah. Okay. So I have a few pieces of this willow, and I have already turned a few into small bowls. I will do a few more. Small bowls like for snack bowls and such. So this is 10 centimeters. It's 5. And then in this direction, 9.5. So just about there. I'm excluding the bark. About good. Okay, I'll quickly drill a hole. I have my drill press set up for 8mm holes, which is the right size for this. And then I'm putting on this little disc. Gives me a bit more surface, and I do not need the whole length of the worm screw for a small piece like this. Okay. I'm trying to put on a face shield together with the headset, but that's a bit of a challenge. You still hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I have my face shield on now. And on StreamYard this works. You see? And the headset.
Face
And
mask, yep.
That's not so easy to do.
Mm.
I think this is the right one. If I put it back to where it should be, like so.
Still there, yeah.
Now we're talking again. I tend to find myself hampered by face masks, but for this type of work, with bark potentially flying around, I always put one on. And you just saw it. Or maybe you didn't, but this came just flying off the lathe.
You've got to think of protection. You need to protect yourself, yep.
Absolutely. Almost around. And it's time to sharpen this gouge. I'm doing that on my belt sander. I've taught myself how to do it, and it works quick. You take off very little material, and it's a good system. It's also since I had it already, it's a very inexpensive sharpening solution.
If it works for you, that's good.
Absolutely. That, I think, was the last bit of bark.
Is that all the bark off now?
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Mark Stroughton. Mark S has just joined us. My husband.
Oh, cool. Welcome.
Right now, I finished my chores. I can come and annoy the trainee earworm, lol. I don't think he can. And yes, I am a trainee earworm.
You're doing very good, Jennifer.
Thank you, Leo.
It would, of course, be silly of me to say otherwise, but it's simply also true. So here I'm going to make a recess.
I will get to become a dear someone.
Or I can do, I think I'll settle for that. I'll make a small tenon, which I will round off, and also be used afterwards as the foot.
Thumbs
Careful
up,
not
guys.
to bump the camera.
That would appreciate. Leo would appreciate that. Hello.
This already looks like a bowl that doesn't need all that much sanding, but I have to get rid of a few tool marks. Oh, and here still a small flat spot. Okay, that means one more pass with the gouge then.
What did you say that was, Leo?
When I stopped the lathe, I noticed a small flat spot near the rim. So I said, I need another pass with the gouge. And then a bit of shear scraping. I think we can be happy with that. There's a tiny.
Hayne has just joined the chat. Welcome,
oh, welcome.
Graham.
There's a tiny bit of bark left here at the foot, but I will leave that because I would have to reduce the size of the foot too far if I had to take it off, or reduce the height of the ball. As it is, it's okay. Like I say, I don't mind a few natural aspects on my work. You can never do better than Mother Nature. So 150. Oh. Feels really smooth. So I might as well go straight to my sanding paste, which is what I use to finish these. It's a mixture of beeswax and mineral oil, together with some
I was just going to ask you what it was.
diatomous earth is in there. That's the part which well, I think it's supposedly also used in Yorkshire grit and the like. It gives you an extra polish. This is what it looks like. My wife mixed this up for me because she's very good at that kind of work.
Ooh.
So
That's got a shine on it as well.
yeah, it does.
It's a lovely piece of wood.
Anybody can guess what this is? You may not believe me if I tell you. No, absolutely not.
What is it?
It's plain Dutch willow.
All right. Got some lovely pattern to it though.
It does, yeah. And this has been in the wood pile for I do not exactly know how long, but it was dry as a bone, which helps. Remember what we talked about earlier? When you start off wood turning, all the wood you have is green and you don't really know what to do with it. And then when you're into it a few years, then you start to run into the better stuff. I always make these in pairs because it's more time effective if I do not have to switch out the worm screw in the chuck.
Yeah.
So this is piece number 2. I took that as a whole branch out of the wood pile a few weeks ago, and then cut it into these blanks. Okay. Put on the headset again. Put on the headset again. Let's put this out of the way. There went the first piece of bark. Sometimes the bark on these is loose, and sometimes it's stuck like anything. There went another part flying. Still feel a flat spot, quite a big one even. Just the tiniest bit left there. Let's see where we are at regards to size. If possible, I would like to make them equally large. The other one is just a bit smaller, so I can take a few more cuts. Preparing the bottom. This is about where the tenon is going to be, as you can see. make that little rounded section for the foot. And do
I
a
think I was
shear
muted
scrape.
when I was saying this. Sorry. Graham Hain says, waste a lot of time turning wet wood when you start only to find it cracks.
Yeah. Been
Too
there, done that.
much, and it ends up in a
I think the good thing about it is that you learn some basic skills for general turning, and then it's better to mess up
yes.
a piece of green wood than an expensive blank.
Oh yes.
Stop the lathe, check it. Still that tiny bit of bark here and a knot. I'm not going to take that out. When I first started wood turning, I wanted to make big bowls and hardly anything else. If I look at myself now, I find much more joy in turning the smaller things and making them look good. I've turned so many ugly bowls, you wouldn't believe it. Good.
Good extra feature, those knots. It is, Graham.
Yeah, that's how it was meant. Yeah, that's how it was meant.
So,
Ah, look who's there. Volko. Come eens.
is that your other dog?
Volko. Yeah. You're on YouTube, Volko. You see it? They're both there.
So yeah, so
I knew you'd
cute.
say that. I knew
Yeah,
you'd say, oh. It's my wife's dog. Let's be honest. But he stole my heart as well, meanwhile.
Oh, that's your wife's dog, is it?
The brown one, the little one, yes.
Like, see where you'd gone.
Okay.
Oh, they're both there now.
Yeah, they are. Okay, where was I? A bit more of this stuff. Mike Pease did a video, or actually more than one, about this stuff. I simply bought the ingredients and made some of it myself.
Right.
So in case you're interested in this, sometimes he calls it, I believe, sanding butter, but it works nice.
I look forward to
Some
seeing that video.
Some finishes work better on some kinds of
You
wood.
seem to get a
and
nice
this one,
sheen on it.
yeah, absolutely. Okay. The second one is still a tad bigger than the first one, but that's okay. As long as the foot is the right size.
Nice little bowls.
Yeah, they are for like sweets and nuts and that sort of thing, so that you do not put in too much in one go, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Let's see, 3 centimeters. So I should go in about an inch, 2.5. I like to drill a depth hole when I make these. It saves you from nasty surprises.
Yes.
2.5. It's about there. I need to go another centimeter. I think I'm there. Whoops. Yeah. I've just given myself an extra millimeter. No worries, I'll adjust the camera when I have this set up. It's a good feature of this lathe to have a movable headstock. For hollowing, it's way easier like this. The alternative would be to turn in reverse, which I see some people do as well. But I like when I'm able to do this. Okay.
Mm.
almost an anticlimax. How quickly that goes, isn't it?
Wow.
I still see a saw mark here, so I need to take that rim down a bit more.
Some really nice figure in the middle of it as well.
Yeah, this one had this knot inside, remember? And that.
Oh yes.
Probably better to do that with a scraper. Just that little divot in the middle. And I think there's very little sanding to be done on this one. Take a look. No tool marks.
Yeah. Wow.
Hi Steve, you're back. Or was he back a while? I was back for a while.
Sorry. You.
800, 240 grit. Here we have it.
What you're going to put the things on the inside, Leo?
Yeah, same stuff. This is 100% food safe, so no problem. I have found with this stuff the diatomaceous earth. So what also makes Yorkshire grit work, you have to sand at least till 240. Otherwise, you don't get good results.
Yeah.
Just polish this in Raven style. The cloth must be warm to the touch. But I can see it shine very well now. I'm sure you can see that as well.
Yes, you can. Yes.
Okay. And if you make the tenon like this so that it almost fits the chuck, then you don't see any marks.
That is gorgeous.
All right.
So much figure
Last
in that one that you've just done.
Willow. Just run of the mill willow. Just run of the mill.
Yeah, gorgeous.
I think willow grows in the UK also, doesn't it? I think willow grows in the UK.
I'm not sure. I think it does, yeah. We've never
Pretty sure it does. It tends to move a lot if you turn it green, and it tends to move quite a bit.
Graham says we do get willow in the UK.
Yeah, but you have to either let it dry very well or turn it.
Have you ever turned willow, Graham? Oh, it's pretty common, is it, Steve? Right. Has either of you guys ever turned it, Steve and Graham?
Another centimeter or so. That's it.
You haven't, Graham. You have, Steve. So Steve's turned willow.
Yeah.
And he's from the UK. And Graham Hayden. And it's a very common wood, apparently, Steve Ash said.
Yeah, it is.
This is if you mainly get it in the wetlands.
And do you like turning it, Steve?
Steve, do you like turning it? We've turned it once.
So probably not.
Yeah.
Here it is. Here it's one of the most common species.
He says it says it's not a wood that appears in the suppliers, though, which I've never seen any of it around here. We've never had it.
It's not sold commercially for turning blanks. I don't think so.
It's not sold
But if you are in the market for free wood, then
No.
you cannot. You can hardly pass it by. It's so common here.
Steve says it's only turned it once, and it was kind of hard to get into a dried condition. Sorry, it's turned it once. It was kind of hard to get in a dried condition. Sorry, Steve.
I think I remember I picked up this piece by the roadside a couple of years ago, threw it in my wood pile, and only looked at it again a few weeks ago. And I hadn't cut blanks from it by then. I had left it as it was.
Right.
And I still have a few more around the shop here, so that you get an idea of how thick those branches were. That's all. But still plenty good enough for making
Graham,
small
Steve's in
stuff like.
Chesterfield. Steve Ash says, problem is, even in public land, you can't get permission. You get trouble if you don't get permission. Have I said that right? Problem is, or you can't get into trouble even if you don't get permission. My reading today is so terrible, Steve, isn't it? And it can very hard to find out who you need the permission.
Yeah, I picked up a lot of willow here from the recycling center. So from people's gardens and what have you, where it was thrown out. And then me going to the recycling center with a load of cut-offs from the hedges, and returning with a few pieces of willow. Of course, you have to make sure that nobody is watching when you throw them in the back of your trunk. But I still see a ridge there. Can you see that too, Jennifer? There.
Steve Ash has said parish councils, town councils, borough councils, county councils, national park authorities, and so on.
Yeah, it's the same here. I think we are over regulated, and nobody
Exactly,
wants
Steve.
to
So
take responsibility for allowing you to take a piece of
Yeah,
wood.
it's a pain in the bum.
Yeah. And if it was for burning, then okay, to a certain extent, I could understand that. But if you're using it for crafts, then I think they should make wood available for you. Actually, it's also a kind of upcycling.
Yes.
Because what happens to everything that gets thrown out at the recycling center?
Still look shiny standard. And you haven't put any finish on it yet.
No, this is 150, the first, the lowest grid I'm using.
Graham's just said, if it's not on private grounds, he just picks it up. Not had any trouble. He hasn't had any trouble yet.
You always have to be somewhat careful. Nobody's watching, and then generally, yeah,
Why not,
you're
Graham?
good.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
As well, I think so. Anything.
Okay, there's my 400. Okay. Now I will slap on the finish. I learned how Richard Raffen calculates the pricing for his balls. It's the width by the depth, or the height, if you like, and that number multiplied in inches. Was it in inches or in centimeters? Oh, I forgot. I think it was in centimeters. No, cannot be. So this one is 9 by 3, but nobody would pay 18 euros for that. If you do it in imperial, then it's 1 by 3. That would be 3 euros. I think that's closer to what's feasible. But it's done. Nice figure here. This is an interesting thingy here at the edge. I'll wipe off the dust a bit. The other one is just a tad smaller. It fits inside. Yeah. But nice. The height times depth times 1.5. Well, I would be okay if I can charge €3 for these. Are you still there, Jennifer? I'm not hearing anything anymore. Settings. Yeah, should be good. Okay. Yeah. Could be, I don't know. It's not that I see, but then at least it isn't me. I just performed a successful audio test, but never mind. I think with 3 hours and 4 minutes, this live has been on for long enough. I would like to thank Jennifer tremendously for her voluntary work as an earworm. It helped me out a great deal, and it was great fun. And it was also very nice having you all, guys. So I hope to see you on the next one, and I will certainly be approaching Jennifer to see if she can repeat what she did this afternoon. So thank you all for joining, and see you at the next time. I'm going to head out for a beer because the dust had made my throat a bit dry. Cheers.